Return so soon. Welcome everyone to the kingdom of Kaiser and Estrella. Last time we did... This is Seduce Me Too, by the way. You know, you could tell probably by the opening screen here. Last time we did Eric's route, good end. I don't know how I'm like getting these good ends just like without much thought. I really thought since, you know, when I did Diana's route, I got a really bad end right off the bat. So I thought that like I would just be like blazing through these trying to get the good ends and like failing repeatedly, but so far that hasn't been the case. So this time we're gonna go for Sam, and hopefully get the good end. Yeah, so I think we'll just dive in since it goes through like all the like background for us, so I don't have to like try to remember or explain it.
Hold on there! Before you start the game, I need to ask you a few things. Don't want you getting lost now.
Wouldn't want
First
that.
of all, have you read the first story, Seduce Me the Otome? Like, seriously read it. No skimming, no pretending to read it. No. It's okay if you haven't, but there are a lot of things in this game that you won't understand unless you fully experienced and understood that story first.
I have read it.
Oh, okay. You do know this is Sam's route, right? The brute middle brother?
Yes.
The asshat who stole your first kiss when you first met the guys?
I know that, but you may not. So, nope, I didn't know.
Well, now you do. It's not too late to go back to the main menu and choose another route.
Yeah.
But if you want to know about him, I can tell ya.
That's exactly what we want.
Sam, he's a little bit of a bad boy, I guess. He's the middle brother of the incubi, and he has a very bad temper. But he tries to control himself. I mean, he's not totally an ass.
Only like 75% of the time. As we have noticed, every time he opens his mouth in every other route, he's he's always the one that's like, what the fuck are we doing? And what the fuck's going on? And so, you know.
His father didn't really like him. So, Sam became a rebel, disobeying his father's demands and hanging out with lesser and lower class demons. He even stole food from the royal kitchens and gave it to other demons, like some kind of badass Robin Hood.
So he's still a good guy, you know. Plus on his points.
However, he never really cared about the human world like his brothers. He was content with the demon world. But when his brothers talked about leaving, he went with them in order to be with them. I still think he thinks about the demon world now and then.
Huh. Well, interesting.
Anyway, Sam's actually pretty nice under his bad boy facade. He practices Tai Chi and he cares about you and his brothers more than anything. Add on to the fact that he can control his strength and speed, and you pretty much have a superhero-like boyfriend.
That's pretty cool. I wonder what he does for, like, work, though. I mean, is he a Tai Chi instructor? That'd be cool.
When he gets mad, he really gets mad. His fight with Malix was... well, let's say Malix's face became a bowl.
A bowl full of blood.
Anyway, Diana kind of singled him out and tried to get him to come back, dangling the Demon Lord's throne in front of him. He said no, of course, and when she tried to intimidate him, he kind of attacked her and forced her to back off.
Yeah, you know, Diana is very, 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 very strong. We know this, but I mean, she's an incubi. I think in the last game, you know, she tried to use seduction to get Sam, and like that is so like not. Sam's not that way. I mean, anyway, that's just not how he is.
Brr. I still get shivers from what he said to her. He basically swore that he would rip her apart if she ever got close to you. Like, he will choke a bitch. After he professed his love to you, Diana left, and you two pretty much lived happily for 2 whole years.
You know, that does not bode well for when we get sucked into the demon world and he's gonna see, you know, me and Diana, like, close, and he's gonna be like, oh shit, he's gonna, like, jump to conclusions and blame Diana, and it's good. I'm gonna have to be like, no, stop! Do not pummel her face in. Oh boy.
Now Sam's a police officer. He's a pretty good one, too. Everyone in your town respects and loves him. He wears the badge well.
So no police brutality here? I really hope not.
But that's all I have about Sam. What do you think?
Let's go.
Great. Glad you do. Anyway, I have one last question for you. Some people like hearing the trigger warnings before they start games, while others don't really care and just...
Sweet. Let's do trigger warnings.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Well, this game is recommended for players ages 18 and up. Trigger warnings include suicide, war, torture, mentions of rape, and a large amount of violence and sexual content.
Alright, so if you're under 18, get the heck out of here.
Don't worry though, any sex scene choice you encounter is completely up to you. You can play this game without
we know
I think
this.
that should be everything. All right.
That took a while.
Phew.
You forgot something.
Diana, babe!
Huh? What did I forget?
You forgot about the disclaimer.
Oh, crap! Oh, how could I have forgotten about that?
It's fine, I'll take care of it. This game was produced by Michaela Laws using the Ren'Py visual novel engine. We truly hope you enjoy this story.
Thanks, Diana. Now, don't you have a war to go fight?
I do. I just wanted to make sure everything was in order before the story began. I'll take my leave now.
Thanks, Di.
Do not call me Di!
Anyway, we really do hope you like the story. Have fun! See you at the end.
Thanks, Kay.
Is this wise?
Okay. So, interesting way to start. Because that is Shadow. That is totally Shadow's voice.
What other choice do we have?
Faye.
We have plenty of choices. Why be impatient about this?
Sergeant.
The Demon Lord is vulnerable now. We can't wait any longer.
Rabbit.
Striking quickly is not always the best option. We must regroup and charge at full force.
For once, I agree with Snake.
Snake! That's a pretty apt description.
But what if he does the same? We have the advantage. We have the terrain on our side. We can win this war here and now.
We may have the terrain on our side, but we don't have the strength to fight a second battle without rest.
Going now is suicide.
My lady, you've been silent this whole time. How should we proceed? We don't have the strength to finish the battle, but the Demon Lord is weak. This may be the only chance to strike him down.
We'll push them back. He's weak, so we can easily force his hand and make him retreat. Once we corner him against the decaying sea, we'll strike and finish him off.
Are they gonna summon me?
Sam, you're being extremely frugal about this. A wedding is supposed to be a grand occasion.
Well, welcome to the story. Here's all 5 of the brothers, and already our fiancé is not happy. Look at him. His shirt's torn. No, that's how he always is, but look at that frown. And our previous bae is being like, look, dude, weddings are supposed to be amazing and big and blah, 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 blah.
I agree. We have the funds to make this wedding a large event.
But why would we do that?
Dude, I can make you a giant cake, and we can have a big buffet, and streamers, and a DJ, and...
That sounds overwhelming.
Sam, calm down.
Thank you, Damien. Planning a wedding was like strategizing for a war. Ruthless, quick, and everything had to be precisely organized for success. It was both intriguing and terrifying to think about. However, it was my wedding, so it had to be done. Sam and I were getting married, and his brothers had become our assistant wedding planners. Sam was happy that his brothers were going to assist, but I could tell that their constant suggestions were grating on his nerves, which is very easy to do. We were sitting around the dining room, poring over a large scramble of papers that were covered in names, costs, and other bits of information that we needed to know. Each number and letter was important and needed to be checked again and again with each decision that we made. There were so many names on the table, I had barely seen mine. Luckily, however, our sample cards and party favors had Sam's name and mine on them. Well, that's good. What's your name? We all know this. Astraya. I looked over at Sam, knowing that he was getting frustrated. It was obvious by the look on Sam's face that he was very much annoyed by the entire situation. He seems like the type of guy that'd be like, okay, but why are we, like, getting married? Why do we have to get married? This seems like a dumb thing to do.
I don't want a big wedding. I just want to get married.
Oh, okay, so he does want to marry me. That's good. I didn't force his hand. I just imagine, like, the main character being like, either marry me or we're breaking up. And he's just like, fine. But, you know, whatever.
Then why not just go to the courthouse and get your marriage license?
Okay, that's too simple.
Because this is important, okay?
Aw, okay, that makes me happy that he, like, actually is, you know, when a kind of I want to say brutish, that seems a little harsh, but just go with me on vocabulary here. When a brutish guy is like, no, I want to do this right, like, even though it's like weddings are seen as like a feminine thing, you know, whatever. When it's important to the guy too, it's like really sweet. It touches my inner feelings. Sam looked at me and my heart skipped a beat. His eyes bore into mine. Oh, wait, sorry, I just looked up and look at that cute face. I think he's got like this cute button nose. Oh my god, can't handle it. And we can, like, his ears look like they're like pointed. I know they're not, but they look pointed and I like it. His eyes bore into mine and I could see the deep love he had for me in his emerald irises, green eyes.
This is a big deal for me. For us. I do really want a wedding, but just not a big one. Alright?
Totally fair. It was almost as if he was asking me, pleading for my permission to have the wedding size he wished for. I wasn't really sure myself if I wanted a big or small wedding. I was so curious on how we were going to get this all done. Oh boy. James crossed his arms as Eric rubbed his forehead in defeat. Damien and Matthew, however, looked at their older brother with a new gaze of respect and idolizing awe. Really? Okay.
If that is what you want, then that is what we will arrange.
Thank you. Where am I in all this? Hello, I'm the bride. Normally, I'm the one making all the decisions. Not saying that's how it's supposed to be. I'm just saying I would like some say.
This wedding will be amazing, no matter how big or small it is.
That's right.
Why don't we ask the bride what she wants then?
Thank you.
She may want a large wedding.
I don't. All five boys looked at me and I suddenly felt cornered. I don't know. Big wedding, small wedding. Well, no. No to both. Just no in general. Just kidding. We're gonna do a small wedding. I had to agree with Sam. I didn't want to make this a spectacle. Exactly. I don't even know enough to have a big wedding, you know? Like, that's my main thing. I'm like, okay, like, main character here, she has her family, 2 friends from the first game. Like, she has just her parents, she doesn't have siblings, and she has got her 2 friends, like I mentioned. I did have a childhood friend, a guy friend, but I don't know if he would go, because he was like, he had the hots for me, I think. And then, I mean, the brothers, who are they going to invite? Their moms? They're in the demon world. Their father? He's the demon lord. It's not going to happen. So yeah, this wedding is like kind of doomed to be small anyway. I had to agree with Sam. I didn't want to make this a spectacle. This wedding was still important to Sam to me. That was all that mattered. I would like to keep our wedding small too. It's our wedding, so it doesn't need to be a big extravaganza. Sam looked at me and smiled, causing me to smile back. It was our day, so we had to celebrate it our way. Look at that smirk. He doesn't smile, he smirks. As the brothers took a moment to look over more notes, Sam kissed my cheek softly, surprising me. Oh, Already. I'm like, oh god. You're attacking me with love. I love it. Oh. He appreciated that. He appreciated that a lot. Score! I glared at Sam as he smirked playfully, a playful grin at me before turning back to the table of papers and looking through them with his brothers. I giggled to myself and gently held the cheek he kissed. I was glad to make him happy. James pushed his glasses further up his nose and put together a stack of papers, gazing at the content on the front page.
Well, everything that you both listed should be possible for the wedding. I can call up the venues for the ceremony and reception. Eric, can you organize the decorations?
Is that our ringtone? Okay. As the boys began to divide up the work, before I was able to step in, my phone began to ring. My screen showed Naomi's face, and I stood from my seat. I'll be right back. I gotta take this.
Huh? Oh, yeah, okay.
Bye, babes. I quickly kissed Sam's cheek before rushing out of the dining room and into the lobby to answer the phone. Hello? Moshi Moshi?
Hey, how's everything going?
Chotto muzukashii desu ne. Oh, hey, Naomi. Everything's going well. We're going through the details right now.
That's good.
Totally good.
Seriously, Naomi, you're hogging the phone.
Yeah. Man, it's been so long since I've seen Suzu. Okay, is that really her name? Suzu? I thought it was Susie. I really thought it was Susie. Whatever. Naomi and Suzu. Suzu? My jaw dropped at the sound of Suzu's voice. Suzu was supposed to be in Italy and wasn't going to make the wedding. Why was she with Naomi?
Surprise! I was hogging the phone to keep Suzu being here a surprise, but I guess she's too impatient to wait.
Yeah, she is.
Fuck waiting. I want to talk to her too.
Oh, I remember, yes. Her romance route was sweet. Well, I think there was a romance route for her. I think so, yeah. She's like a punk. And I'm just like, yes. Be still, my beating heart. A punk. I love it. When did you get in?
Literally 2 hours ago. We wanted to come visit, but we figured you'd be too busy, so we just called instead.
Oh, considerate friends.
We're so happy for you. Suzu had to come back for the wedding.
They were probably like, man, this bitch not gonna get married ever. No man in her right mind, well, no person in their right mind would marry this woman. Man or woman. I felt like crying. Naomi and Suzu were my best friends, and I was so glad to have them. Naomi was following her dreams to become a chef, while Suzu spent a lot of her time with her family, so it felt very special to have time to even talk to them. I sat on the stairs and chatted with them, catching up on their lives. Suzu's family was still in Italy, visiting family and traveling the country for a couple months. But Suzu managed to fly back not only to attend my wedding, but also manage her family's casino. Oh, that's badass. Naomi, on the other hand, had been hard at work as a summa cum laude of her culinary school and being a paid intern at the Pink Lady Cafe. Kay, often out of town, gave Lily a manager position while Naomi manned the cashier and baking duties. Oh my god. All these characters are like... I'm getting all lost. I forgot. So I thought Suzu was my best friend. I know Naomi is. Hopefully we get to see their faces, because as soon as I see their character models, I'm going to be like, oh, right. And I totally forgot that Kay was the manager, or was the owner of the Pink Lady Cafe. I wondered why her getup was that way, and now it all makes sense. Oh my god. Dang. I totally forgot. It was really nice to hear how their lives had changed over the past 2 years. What, do I not talk to them? Mine, however, had barely changed, with the exception of the upcoming marriage. What? What am I doing? Knitting? I was going to college for a degree I wanted. Oh. And I was halfway to my bachelor's degree. I know that feeling. However, my classes weren't hard and they were very lenient towards me because I was Harold Anderson's granddaughter. Part of me was frustrated at the special treatment I received, while the other part of me was flattered. Yeah, I'm actually about to graduate in May, and I am so ready to be done. She's very lucky to have a lenient time, because being a computer science major just means that you cry every night. That's my life. I cry a lot. Sam, however, went into the police force. With the help of his incubus magic, he was able to don a badge and serve the community well. Everyone knew him and loved him for his hard work, despite his boss being jealous of him at times. Because he's so good looking, isn't it? I never understood why he joined the Force, but I was very happy to know that he felt the need to help people, like I did.
So, are you ready to get married?
Absolutely not. It's a lot to take in, I will admit.
You're dancing around the question.
Yes, I am. I will dance all night. Huh? No, I'm not.
Suzu, stop teasing. She's probably just flustered from the work she has to do.
Yeah, Suzu. As Naomi and Suzu began to bicker on the other end of the phone, I began to mull over my life. I was 20, turning 21 soon, and I was about to be married. Married? Was I going too fast? Oh. Aw, you're a little baby. I shouldn't say that. I'm only 21. She's not that much younger than me. My mind began to picture Sam and how happy he was when he proposed to me. And when I said yes, my heart fluttered at the image and I couldn't help but smile. I want to see that shit. I made the right choice. Hell yeah, I did. As I thought of Sam, I couldn't help but let memories of our relationship dance around in my mind. He was sweet and loving, but at the same time, he was hardworking, protective, and proud to be mine. He proved his love for me every time he held me and kissed me.
I bet you two already had sex, though, so there won't be that awkward virgin honeymoon, huh?
Okay, it's a little weird that this is being brought up. A bois? I nearly dropped the phone. I could hear Suzu guffawing at me from the other end, but I was too focused on what she said. What? This is a choice? This is a legit choice right now? Oh my god. What? What? Okay. He's an incubi. I'm just gonna go with, like, what's happened with all the other characters. I mean, what? Yeah, we've had sex, so what? I remember this night we first made love. Sam was gentle, but the passion between us had been heated and heavy, adding to our love for each other. Oh, I hope I didn't, like... Shit. Okay. So far, it's okay. A small shiver ran up my spine at the memory. We made love multiple times after that, when we needed each other or when we wanted to express our love for each other with our bodies. Making love was truly another way we showed our deep passion for each other. As it should.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Suzu.
Don't worry, girl. You're not the only one who no longer has her virginity.
Ah, she just wanted to brag.
What? You too? Am I the only one who still hasn't had sex yet?
You can wait as long as you need or want to, Naomi. There's no pressure.
It's not like sex is mandatory, Naomi. Calm down.
Yeah, Naomi. I couldn't help but chuckle a bit. We were so different, but we truly loved each other and were close enough to talk about anything. Yeah, friendship.
But hey, we gotta let you go, okay? We haven't eaten and it's almost 9 p.m.
It's really that late? Jeez, go get some food. We can chat tomorrow or something.
You got it, Chica. We'll call you whenever we're free, even if it's not tomorrow. For now, food!
Spirit animal.
Alright, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I'll call you guys soon. We hung up simultaneously and I looked down at my phone with a smile. It was good to hear from them at last. However, as I made my way back towards the dining room, I stopped. Oh dear, what is happening?
I want to do it.
What? Oh no. Did I fuck up? Oh no. Oh no! And I don't think I saved either. Oh no, I did save. Okay. I have a feeling that my choice just, like, triggered a sex scene. And, oh dear, I want to do it. Okay.
You cannot be serious.
Oh, okay, maybe not. I quickly hugged the wall and emptied my thoughts so Damien wouldn't hear them. I listened intently, thinking about Naomi and Suzu as I let my ears capture what I wanted to discover. I had learned so many tricks on how to avoid Damien. It was now easy to fool him.
A demon marriage? In the human world? How do you expect to pull this off?
I don't know. I just want to marry her. Both like a human for her and like a demon for me.
Aw. Why not?
I mean, it's a nice idea, but you need a lot, and I mean a lot. of things we can't get here in the human world.
Not yet.
Sam wants to visit the demon black market to find the things he needs.
Sam! Are you that idiotic?
Yes. Indubitably.
Gee, thanks, Damien.
The black market? Really? You'd go that far?
Yes.
It's my goddamn choice.
Also, they know that he's like, he's got friends, man. He's got friends in the demon world. I bet he could do it.
A choice that will make you an even bigger target for angels. What the hell are you thinking?
Oh, for angels? Why? I didn't know that was a thing. My mind continued to focus on my friends, but my heart became heavy and frightened. Sam wanted things he'd have to get at a black market? I didn't even realize there was a demon black market. You'd think all demon markets would be black markets, considering they're demons. But I felt majorly confused, but I let the emotion simply rumble in my chest instead of my mind.
Look, I know you want to do this with her, but can't you at least think about this? What if you can't find all of the materials needed for it?
Even more so, what if she doesn't want to do it? She is human after all. Did you even ask her?
That's a good point.
I was...
Oh, for the love of God.
Look at Matthew's face. He's like, what? And Eric's just like pissed. He's like, you bitch. I will slap you.
Sam, come on! I know you're a meathead, but you're not this dumb.
Yeah.
Why haven't you asked her?
I did not. I was asked if the puppies here had been fed, and they were not.
I just want to bind my soul to her, alright? You know, like the fucking demon I actually am!
That makes it seem so... bind? Actually, that's sweet. I'm glad he didn't say her soul to mine, because that's like the first mental translation I thought of. I was like, oh shit, like, is he gonna like possess me? Like, he's like, she's mine forever, which I guess is kind of marriage, but like in a more like, I don't know, in a more scary, dominating, spooky, Matthew's bad end sort of way. Because I would assume that, yeah, Matthew's demon mom taking over. But I guess it's kind of sweet that it's like him binding to me. But I mean, I'm sure it's both ways, right? My thoughts went blank. For a moment, I had forgotten that he was, in fact, a demon. But bind his soul to me? What did he mean?
Yes, you are a demon, but you're in the human world now. Marriage doesn't work like that here.
Why not? Poor Sam.
Sam, why are you having doubts?
Doubts of what? My entire body froze. What? He was having doubts? Why? I suppressed the surprise in my mind, still remembering that I was eavesdropping, but I was starting to feel upset.
Not having doubts. I want to do this.
You just what? You want to return to the demon world? You want to marry her in the abyssal plains instead of here?
Yeah, why not?
And if I did, so what if I do? I can get us there, and we'd be able to do the ceremony, and then we'd come back.
You may want to go back, but she would become a target for demons to kill for sport. She'd die before you even returned. Did you even think about that? Huh?
I mean, I'm not gonna frickin' die. A large silence followed. I became lost and nervous. Why was so Sam obsessed about this issue?
James, calm down. Yelling at him solves nothing.
Yeah, he's not even yelling back. He's just kind of sad.
Sam, we all know you really want to do this. We're just trying to show you the facts before you do something stupid.
Okay, don't call his initiative stupid. Sam's just like, ugh, I feel defeated. I couldn't stand it any longer. It's not a good time to bring it up, so I needed to clear the air of the situation. Eventually I could talk to Sam about it, but not right now. I mentally signaled that I was ending the call and thinking about rejoining the room, knowing that Damien would hear my thoughts.
She's coming back.
Wow, it's really clever. I turned the corner and looked at the five, seeing them obviously divided. Sam was on one side, both hands on the table as he stared down at it in defeat. The other four were on the opposite side, looking to me. Hey, what happened?
Nothing. We just had a bit of a... Fuck this, I'm done.
You're done? Whoa, he's out. Oh man, that moodiness would really get on my nerves fast. That sucks. Sam pushed away from the table and began to walk towards me. Oh, I watched as he passed me and climbed the stairs, obviously beyond angry. Aw. Oh, I was kind of hoping that he would take me with him. Sam.
Miss, wait.
Turned back to see the four incubus brothers with worried looks on their faces. I wanted to go to Sam, but I knew that he needed to calm down, so I stayed. What is it?
Well, this is very hard to ask.
If Sam wanted to do something very, very specific and hard to accomplish, and if you wanted to, do that with you, would you?
Basically, would you allow Sam to do something that makes him happy but risks his life?
That's a loaded question, James. I couldn't help thinking about the conversation they had, which made Damien furrow his eyes. Crap. Ah, I was caught. I'm caught.
You heard everything.
No, I so didn't. You're crazy.
You did?
I closed my eyes. There's no use in denying it, but it was something I needed to talk about with. But was it something I needed to talk about it with them? I knew I'd have to talk about it with Sam, but with his brothers? Talk about it, avoid it. I don't like it. I'm going to be supportive of Sam over them, so I'm going to avoid it. I shook my head. This was a private matter. I did, and I will discuss this with Sam on my own. The other boys nodded, understanding my stand on the subject. I need to figure this out with Sam, not with them. Yeah, I agree. I sighed and looked at the boys, seeing them starting to clean the table and clear the papers off. I had assumed that the planning was done for the night. I guess we'll discuss more another time.
It'll have to wait until the weekend. Much is happening this week, so I won't be available.
Sorry, James.
Same here. I have to train a couple of interns so they know how to properly fit customers with a suit.
Good luck with that.
This weekend is perfectly fine, right?
Totally. Yeah, sounds good. I helped to pile the papers in a proper stack on the table, making them ready for the next time they were to be viewed, before I escorted the boys out. Sam remained wherever he was and didn't see his brothers off. He was really mad. After I closed the door, however, Sam appeared at the balcony above the lobby and began to descend the staircase. Aw.
Are they gone?
They are indeed gone. Yeah, they'll be back this weekend. Sam sighed and ran a hand through his hair, letting his shoulders slouch forward.
This is ridiculous. Is wedding prep really this complicated?
Well, I mean, you're the one who wants the complicated one. Just saying. I could only nod before walking over and meeting him as he reached the bottom step. As he stepped off of it, I wrapped my arms around him and nuzzled his forehead, making him look into my eyes. It'll be worth it in the end when we're married. Sam smiled and wrapped his arms around my waist, nuzzling my forehead. I felt the deep love in his embrace, wanting to protect me from the world and all the dangers within it. He had protected me so many times with those arms that were wrapped around me.
If I get to be with you forever, then I guess it's worth the work, you doofus.
Hey, it's Mrs. Doofus. No, I'm just kidding. As long as you'll have me, I'll be with you forever. With a loving gaze, Sam lifted a hand from my waist and cut my cheek, and I nuzzled into the warmth of his palm and let out a loving sigh.
Hey, can we go somewhere tomorrow?
Go where? Sure, I guess. Where did you want to go? Thoughts of him going to the black market crossed my mind, making me slightly worried as to where he wanted to go. Sam, however, looked at his feet.
Well, we already asked your folks and stuff about me marrying you. But there's one person I have to ask permission from.
He's totally taking me to the demon realm. Who?
Your grandfather.
Oh. I was shocked. He wanted to go to my grandfather's grave? Damien had explained that it had been my grandfather who had brought them over from the demon world, but I was still getting used to the idea. Sam continued to explain as I wrapped my head around the question.
I know I sound a little dumb, but he was kind of important to me and my brothers. He's the one who brought us here after all. It's only respectful if, I guess, I kinda ask for his blessing. I mean, it's dumb and we don't have to, but...
No, we can. Tomorrow around noon then? Sam stared in shock before he nodded with a smile.
Alright.
Okay, but I feel like we're having a communication issue here. I have a feeling that he means to, like... Well... I mean, maybe he does mean to go to the grave, but I feel like he wants to do some sort of spooky thing to, like, actually, like, you know, summon his spirit or something. I don't know. The thought of us going to visit Grandfather's grave somehow made me feel happy instead of sad. We had both visited him before, but we weren't engaged then, and something felt special about this visit. I'm going to be dragged underground. Maybe it was because Sam was doing things right before marrying me. Who knew? We went to bed that night, settled in our plans for the following day. As morning arrived, we got dressed and were out of the house by the time the clock struck noon. It was a bright day and no one else was visiting, so Sam and I were alone in the cemetery. It was a little unnerving, but at the same time, it was nice to be able to spend time at Grandfather's grave alone with Sam. It's kind of, okay, this is kind of weird though, like, big gravestone. Little Sam. Weird. I would visit alone eventually, but for now, Sam took control of our visit. Sam sat down in front of the grave, crossing his legs, and stared at the stone slab that was my grandfather's gravestone. I followed suit, sitting beside him and placing a bouquet of colorful flowers beside the grave.
No matter how many times we come here, it's still so odd. I remember when we met almost like it was yesterday.
What, when you met grandfather or met me? Yeah, it's still strange. We both sat in comfortable silence, looking at the grave. It was strange remembering that 2 years ago I had met Sam and his brothers literally the day after my grandfather had died. Now I was getting married to Sam. It was surreal, to say the least. Sam straightened his back and cleared his throat, causing me to look at him in confusion.
So, Mr. Anderson, I hope that you're around to hear us and stuff. Your spirit, I mean. I'm fucking this up already.
He's so cute. It's okay, babe. Keep going, keep going. What? I was confused. Why was he asking if my grandfather was there? He was buried under the earth and his spirit was probably in the afterlife. Sam took another breath.
I must sound like a complete jackass. You've given my brothers a chance to start new lives, and I can't ever thank you enough. Now, I'm asking for your granddaughter's hand. I must seem like a brat, huh?
Aw, no. I can only watch as Sam ran his hand through his messy hair, obviously deep in thought and formulating his words carefully before speaking. He didn't want to mess up, I could tell by the look on his face.
You've given us so much already. I want to be able to not only pay you back for giving my brothers better lives, but I want to be with your granddaughter for the rest of my life. As a demon, and as her husband. I promise to take care of her and love her for the rest of my life. I want to be with her and provide her with the life she deserves. I may be a demon, but I love her, and will do anything to protect her and keep her happy.
This is too much for me. I'm already like, my heart.
Please, if you're here, I humbly ask for your blessing to marry your granddaughter.
Aw. My heart was overwhelmed by the emotional speech Sam made. Tears were forming in my eyes from the love he was expressing for me. I held my hands over my chest, unable to stop the pounding of my heart. I know, I'd be crying. I would be like dabbing my eyes, like, oh dear, oh no. Sam truly loved me. I stared at Sam. A gentle wind passed through the air and brushed over Sam and my skin. It was out of place. The sun was out and hadn't felt any breeze at all until just then. Huh? Grandfather? Another small breeze brushed over us, making me and Sam smile at the sensation. The wind was my grandfather's answer, and it was gentle enough to let us know that he was happy to see where we were and what we were planning to do. That's a little... You're assuming. Sam let out the breath he was holding in, now that he knew that my grandfather approved.
I won't let you down.
Aw. I couldn't help a wide smile growing on my face. I was beyond overjoyed at the situation. If Grandfather was really there, I was happy to know that he approved of us. We went home that day feeling confident and ready for whatever the future held for us. We had gained the blessing of my grandfather, and I was certain that however we went about this marriage, we were going to care and love for each other for the rest of our lives. Just thinking about Sam being with me forever made my heart jump in joy. Was I really that excited to be married to him? Duh. My heart thought so, despite him being a demon. Still, the demon ritual remained in the back of my mind, softly prodding my thoughts as we returned home and worked on more wedding arrangements. I looked at Sam, now curious enough to bring it up. The question was, would I? Oh, fuck. I don't know. I have no idea. He doesn't know that I know is my problem. Because I don't want to bring it up and then have him be, like, mad at me for, being like, what, you heard and you didn't say anything until now? And I also don't want to, like, say, like, not bring it up and then have him, like, have it be, like, avoided, because he seems like he's, like, the more upfront kind of guy, so maybe he would appreciate me being upfront, or, or would he more appreciate, like, me waiting for him to be ready to mention it? You know what I mean? Like, oh, God. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna bring it up and see how it goes over, and if I don't like it, I'll just reload. Yes. It was bothering me. I wanted to know what was on Sam's mind, and I needed to hear his thoughts about it. I looked at Sam as he pored over a guest list. He was proficient with reading now, constantly learning in the past 2 years we had been together, so he was flying through his work with ease. Still, I needed to break the silence. Sam, can I ask you something? Sam looked up from his work and sat up straight, rolling back his shoulders.
Yeah, sure, what's up?
Well, promise you won't be mad. Main character's got me figured out. Sam furrowed his eyebrows, now concerned with what I wanted to ask. I bit my lower lip, but he nodded, crossing his arms and leaning back in his chair.
Go ahead.
He's like, If I was nervous before, I was even more nervous now. Yeah, literally same. Well, you see, I looked down at the table, hoping that the wooden surface would help me find some way to form my thoughts. Once I was able to form my thoughts into words, I looked back up at Sam. Why is having a demon marriage so important to you? ... Sam stared in shock at me. I knew I had thrown him off, but I needed to say it. I wanted him to explain for us to discuss it. If it was something Sam wanted, I really wished to help him and possibly achieve it with him. If it was impossible, I still wanted to know, and at least try regardless, all for him. See, that's sweet. Sam sighed and looked down at his crossed arms. Was it seriously that big of a deal that he felt shame over it? Oh shit.
Who told you about it?
I overheard you and your brothers arguing about it yesterday. ... He's like, I have an eavesdropping fiance. God damn it. I have made a huge mistake. Wedding called off. I hate this woman. It's over. I began to worry. Did I make him mad? Would he be furious at me for bringing it up? I watched as he ran both his hands through his hair and let out a sigh.
Well, we're having a human marriage and stuff, and, well, I guess that
Sam bit his lip, shutting his eyes as he collected his thoughts. I waited patiently, wanting to know exactly what he felt. He then looked up at me with a sad, almost heartbroken look in his eyes.
I guess I just miss being a demon.
Aw, I'm sorry. But Sam, you are a demon.
That's not what I meant. I mean, yeah, I'm a demon, but am I really at this point? I work for a human police force. I live in the human world. I barely ever use my power, so it's like I'm not even a demon anymore.
Aww. Sam looked down at his lap and closed his eyes, slumping his shoulders in almost pathetic guilt. You know what this reminds me of? Shrek. The second movie, when, well, actually, no. It's a central theme in both the first and second movie where, Fiona has to choose between, well, she doesn't really choose, but she becomes an ogre, right? And then the second movie, it's over. She, Shrek turns human for Fiona, but Fiona's like, I married you even as an ogre, it's fine. So this heavily implies that maybe we'll get to stay in the in the demon world after the war and everything. I mean, he doesn't really want to be in the human world, and like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't got ties here except for my two friends. That's it. But then I guess I wouldn't see the boys anymore. I wouldn't see any of the brothers anymore, but then I'd get to be with Diana. I want to be with Diana.
So, I wanted to eventually ask you when the time was right to marry you demon style. Basically, I'd bind my soul to yours, and yours to mine. That way, I'll always know when you're okay, and you'd be able to tell if I was too.
That sounds awesome. Why aren't we doing this? But what about preparing the spell? Surely you have to arrange it somehow with spell components and whatever else. I can only imagine what soul binding requires.
That I hadn't gotten around to yet. I didn't want to do anything until I knew I could do it, but lately, I found out that it's impossible.
No, why? Couldn't help but feel my lip droop into a frown. Sam really seemed really bummed about not being able to pull off the ritual. It was a big deal, or so Sam emotionally suggested. Sam ruffled his own hair with his fingers, slightly growling under his breath. Despite not looking at me, I could tell that he was angry with this situation.
The one chance I have to feel like how I really am, and I can't even do it.
Aw. I'm sorry. I felt terrible for bringing it up. Sam, however, shook his head and looked to me.
Look, don't worry about it and forget you ever heard anything, okay? We'll get married like normal, and we'll spend the rest of our lives together. We don't need a spell for that.
That is true. However, I really like being spiritually telepathic. I'm actually reading a book series right now, the Night Game series by Genevieve Jack. Also, you have to be 18 or older to read these books because, oh my god, so much sex. But, it's so cool. Like, the main girl and the main love interest, his name is Rick. They literally have soul telepathy. They can just, like, think to each other, like, yo, I want some Cheetos. And Rick would be like, same, bruh. Except he'd be like, what's a Cheeto? But you know what? Same principle. It'd be great. That's what I want with Sam. That's what I want with you, boy. I knew Sam was just trying to avoid talking about it further, so I nodded and agreed. I hope that was the right choice. I just really like being openly communicating all the time. Like, I need to know how, like, with Kaiser, I'm just like, how are you today? Are you doing good? That's great. Okay. I just want to know, I don't want to leave anyone in the dark over things. Okay, Sam. Yeah, no problem. No problem, my lovely fiancé. We're gonna get married in the demon world. You don't know it, but I know it. We're going to the demon realm. It's gonna be fucking great. Okay. We had so much to do in a small amount of time. We worked the entire afternoon, trying to arrange as much as we could before the passing of time hit us like a wave. Dinner was extremely easy, but our focus was solely on the work at hand. The more work we could accomplish, the less stress we'd have to worry about later. So true. Looking at Sam, I could tell he was exhausted. He had his head in his hands, trying to stay awake as he read over his notes and paperwork, I'm sure for the 5th or 6th time. I was fairly certain he was tired of reading. He always worked so hard and never failed to try and make everything we did the best moment of our lives. He deserved so much, yet he fell in love with me, a simple human. Aw, baby. I had no way to repay him except for loving him back and giving him everything I could. Though, there was one thing. My mind traveled to a small bachelorette... Oh, God. What? Okay, my my mind traveled to a small bachelorette gift Suzu and Naomi had sent me when they first heard the news. It was lingerie to be used during our honeymoon, so it was simply sitting folded up neatly in a box under the bed. Uh-huh. Go on. I looked at Sam again, my libido giving me the idea of possibly surprising him and making his night. Oh, I want to so bad, but I can't. For Twitch. Another part of my brain told me not to bother with it. That gift was for the honeymoon, and so it should be preserved as such. But it was a gift, and it was given to me, so I could essentially do what I want to with it. My libido fought with my logic over the subject as I slightly fawned at the idea of making hot love to Sam or saving the rough night for the honeymoon. Was I going to do it, though? Dun dun dun! I so wish I could. Oh, I want, but I cannot. We will not. We're going to be good children. Good boys and girls. I shook my head. I didn't need to seduce him tonight. Ha, roll credits. We had all the time in the world to make love, and even if we never did, we could still find ways to show our love for each other. That is true. I would always be able to show him my love and be able to prove it every day of my life for as long as he'd have me. Sam looked up and let out a tired yawn.
Okay. That's enough work. Wanna hit the hay?
Absolutely. Yeah, sounds great. I feel like he'd be the kind, though, to, like... He wouldn't... Well, okay. In the first game, he, like, steals a kiss from us without permission. So now I would say that he'd be the kind of guy that, like, you know, he'd be very upfront with his, like, desires. So if he, like, wanted to, he would ask. He'd be like... wanna bang tonight? And, you know, normally main character would be like, hell yeah! But yeah. It's kind of sweet. We cleaned up our paperwork as well as the dinner we had eaten as we worked and headed back upstairs. We were so wiped out by the time we hit the pillows that we didn't even care if we were still wearing our casual clothes. Sleep was just begging for us to escape into its dark embrace when... I have my premonition dream, as it seems to be the recurring theme. I felt myself drift through the darkness of slumber, both at peace and enjoying the warmth around me that it brought. I was tranquil, unable to feel anything but bliss. I loved that I often had the chance to experience this kind of sleep, which was good since I was stressed about the upcoming wedding. I needed proper rest. However, as I floated through the dark, I could faintly hear the sounds of fire swelling around me. I looked around the dark, unable to see anything but blackness. What the... Slowly the noise began to grow louder and louder, unrelenting in its crescendo. I almost had to cover my ears from the sheer volume.
You think you can stop me, boy?
Yes. I love this shit, alright? Because it's like... medieval clothing, demon lord, and then Sam. In this, like... He reminds me of Taylor Lautner from Twilight. I guess we're team, I can't even remember his, like, movie name. We'll just say Team Taylor. As I blinked, the dark around me shifted into a burning room. Flames touched every inch I could see, and in the midst of it all were Sam and his father, the demon lord. They were both wounded, but were both standing tall, confident as ever. Sam stood between me and the demon lord, protecting me from him. Still, I felt fear seep into my soul as I looked at the evil demon lord smirking at both me and Sam.
I will kill you, old man! I want to see you try. You don't even have the strength to save your precious human!
Sorry, that line was not convincing. Nunny? Before I could figure out what he meant, I felt an immense pain in my chest as something ripped through my back and stabbed through me. Oh shit. Sam turns towards me, horrified at what he saw, and I looked down to see a blade sticking out of my sternum. Oh no! I couldn't even emit a whimper of pain as endless agony surged through my body, wrecking my nerves and distorting my vision. Well, I fucking died. I could barely make out Sam arching back to scream at the sky, large flame-like wings erupting from his back. Oh yeah. He would lose it. However, I felt my body give into the pain and my vision turned black. I felt waves of agony crash into my body over and over as I remained on the edge of death. When I was finally able to open my eyes, I could barely make out Sam kneeling over me, resting my head on his knees as tears streamed down his face.
No. This can't be happening. No.
From the look on his face, I was really dying. How could this be? Why was this happening? His hands quaked in disbelief as he ran one along my cheek and used the other to hold my shoulders. I stared up at him, gasping for air as blood seeped over my skin. I was dying. I felt it. I knew it. Sam wept but continued to stare down at me, trying to keep me awake and alive with his touch. However, I felt that I wasn't going to last much longer. I winced at the pain and reached up an arm to Sam, touching his cheek. Sam. Sam shook his head violently, not wanting me to use energy to speak. I grimaced at the pain, but Sam continued to cry. My heart whimpered at the sight of his tears falling down his cheeks.
Please, no. I love you. Please stay with me. No.
Sam, I love you. I wanted to wake up, but I didn't have the strength to fight this illusion. I became lost in the pain that was pinning my body down and draining me of life.
I can't lose you! Please! Please. I love you.
I feel like I should have some, healing magic deep within my soul to prevent this from happening. My chest wouldn't allow me to breathe anymore. All I could do was exhale my last breath and close my eyes. Holy shit. I got chills from that one. At his scream, I finally awoke, sitting up in bed and finally being able to fully breathe again. I panted, feeling the need for fresh air to circulate through my lungs and chest. I ran my hand over my chest, feeling no marks and knowing that I was indeed alive and awake. But what of Sam? I looked to the side to see him still sound asleep, lost in his dreams, which seemed to be peaceful just from the look on his face. I let out a quiet sigh, closing my eyes and looking to the ceiling. It was a dream. Nothing more. Yeah, no, that's what's gonna happen if I fuck this up. No pressure. It was merely a nightmare. I experienced them all the time. The more I thought of it, the more I could sense the fantasy of it. I was okay. We were okay. No, we're not okay. I ran a hand through my hair before lying back down, knowing that I would find solace in Sam's arms. As if by instinct, Sam wrapped both his strong arms around my form and I cuddled against his chest. We were fine. We're going to be fine. Famous last words. Here we go. Time to go to the demon realm. At last the wedding day arrived. We had prepared all that we could, and everything was in order. Sam, wanting to follow human tradition and not see the bride before the wedding, headed to the venue to change into his tux. Aww. I, however, was alone. I didn't ask Naomi or Suzu to help, and I honestly didn't want them to. I needed to be alone before my wedding, so I got dressed and made myself into the perfect bride all on my own in my own mansion. I stared at myself, seeing exactly what I wanted to see in the reflection. I looked exactly how I wanted to look on my wedding day. Well, lucky you. I smiled, unable to shake the feeling of happiness from my body. I'm getting married! I let out a small sigh as relief washed over my nervous mind. Everything was going to be fine. As I heard a car honking outside, I felt nervousness creep in once again. I shook my head. I needed to relax. I grabbed the things I needed and rushed out, entering a white limousine. It was set to bring me to the venue, but I stopped the driver before he began to drive off. Can we stop somewhere first? The driver agreed, and I guided him towards the cemetery my grandfather was buried at. Aw, that's sweet. We're going to get dragged down to hell from it. It had been 2 years since he passed away. My personal visits to his grave have become fewer as time went on, but I've never stopped going. Yeah, I had a friend who died by suicide, and I still go. It's coming up on. It was right before. It was the beginning of my junior year of high school, so coming up on the 4th or 5th anniversary. Today, though, was an incredibly happy day. I was so full of emotion, I couldn't help but visit his gravestone. After all, I was going to marry a demon. Yeah, I was about to marry the man of my dreams, and I wanted to stop there before going to the wedding venue to talk to my grandfather. I'm pretty sure I looked odd in that cemetery wearing a wedding dress. However, I really didn't mind. I needed to come. I stood by the grave, staring down at it with a smile. I'm getting married today, Grandpa. The wind gently danced around me as if my grandfather ushered it to reply. My smile grew brighter and I let out a sigh. I couldn't lie. I wanted my grandfather to be at my wedding, but I couldn't go back in time. Even if I was able to, how could I have stopped him from dying? Well, about that, sweetheart. I shook my head. I didn't want to think of that, not on the day of my wedding. I hope you'll be there in spirit, Grandpa. I'm sure you'll... Before I could continue my sentence, the sky suddenly became dark, causing me to look up. Rain began to fall and patter against the stone and grass as a haunting bell began to chime. Whoa. What boggled my mind was the fact that the rain was avoiding my body. It was like I was in a safe circle underneath an invisible umbrella so that the rain couldn't soak me or my dress. What the... Was this grandfather's doing? Why was it raining all of a sudden? The rain became heavy and I didn't dare move from my spot, afraid of what would happen. I looked at his grave, confused and concerned. My eyes locked into the engraved stone. This wasn't a natural storm. Magic was at work here. My heart gave a quick squeeze in reply to my conclusion, but the word magic reverberated in my mind. Magic. I looked down and lifted my hands to scan over my gloved palms. My fingers began to tingle, almost as if that single word had unlocked something. Magic. I gently pitched the edge of my glove off on my hand with my 2 fingers and slid it off, revealing my bare skin. Nothing had changed, but I could feel that something was different. I could faintly feel energy zipping through the nerves under my skin, dancing in excitement at the word magic. I wonder. I knew Diana had taken away my energy and my magic before she left, but what if I still had some left? I raised my hand to the sky and focused on the back of my hand. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to see something. My mind quickly formed a word in my mind. I didn't know where it come from, but I let it fly from my lips as a soft whisper. Decinio. As soon as the sound of that word rose into the air, the rain around me suddenly froze, as if time had stopped. The wind was still slightly blowing, but the rain had stopped. I slowly lowered my hand and looked around. Did I really do this? Before I could move again, the raindrops in the stormy clouds above began to fade away, returning to the sunny weather it had before. I looked around and noticed that the grass and the gravestones were all dry, as if the rain hadn't even fallen in the first place. That was...
I knew it! I knew it! That girl has demon magic!
What the...
Then quit talking and let's take her! The demon lord will be so pleased.
Who? Before I could turn and search for the voices, I felt hands grab hold of my feet and looked down, and I lifted my dress. 2 pairs of evil-looking hands had taken hold of my ankles, reaching through a dark red and purple pentagram. I shrieked, trying to pull my legs away, but couldn't stop them as they swiftly pulled me into the ground. I was pulled deeper into the darkness. I was no longer in my room. I was being dragged through a dark void, one that I couldn't escape. I reached out and clawed at the dark, trying to find something to grab onto. I tried to pull my legs away from the hands that were holding them, but couldn't pull free. What was going on? Why was this happening? Someone help me! As if someone had heard my screams, I suddenly felt the hands let go and disappear, leaving me to float in the darkness they left me in. I shut my eyes. Please let this be a dream. Please let this be a dream. I finally felt a surface under my feet and collapsed onto it, my body curling in on itself from the experience I had. I didn't dare tear my eyes away from my lap, not ready to get up just yet. The voice I heard, however, made my heart stop.
You! What are you doing here?
Dun, dun, dun! I looked up, finally having the courage to take in my surroundings. My heart stopped beating for a moment, seizing in my chest. Dun, dun, dun! And here's where I'm going to stop for now. We made it to the demon realm. So this is pretty cool because we heard them talking at the very beginning, which we didn't know that would happen before. So this is very different. But next time, we're going to get started on the Demon World stuff. I think because we're doing Sam's route, I think it makes the most sense to do Sergeant's subplot. Hopefully he doesn't kill us, since he's like, soldier or die. So, you know, we can hope. And then whenever we do James's route, we'll do Rabbit's subplot. And then we will have hit them all except for Diana's subplot. Well, and I guess Sero's too. We're missing both Sero and Diana, because you can have either one train you. Yeah, I think. But when I redo Damien's, I guess we'll pick one. But yeah, I might stream more later today. I just need a break, but we will see. I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Thanks for being great guests. See you later. Bye.